WWE had a first-time ever match between AJ Styles and CM Punk on Monday Night Raw, and they did this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me, as always. Before I get right into the Raw stuff, check it out behind me. I finally, after weeks of picking out a frame and then waiting for it to ship on Amazon, I finally have the Darby Allin, signed Darby Allin. You can see the signature right there in pink. Number 49 of 50 right there. It's labeled and signed by the artist. Really, really cool. It sold out really fast, as all of the artwork does on AEW's website. But yeah, let's get right into WWE stuff, then TNA, and then always saving the best for last, which is AEW. The main event for Raw is the only thing that I really want to talk about on Raw, because the rest of it was lackluster as always. We had CM Punk versus AJ Styles. A really, really, really hyped up match after it was announced on the show. We saw some Finn Balor engagement prior to the match with CM Punk, which was foreshadowing what I'm about to get to in a minute here. But your first time ever having these two face each other on Raw in WWE, I think ever, not even just in WWE. I don't think they ever crossed paths anywhere else. So this was your once-in-a-lifetime match. Literally, probably once in a lifetime. And they fucking blew it. What in the hell was this? At the beginning of the show, it's like, okay, you know what? Raw is actually cooking with something, because we know AJ Styles is about to retire, and him versus Punk is definitely a match that was on my, dream match list. I wish it would have happened, 5 to 10 years ago when they were both still in their prime. But, I was like, you know what? I'll still take it for what it is. But they couldn't even capitalize on that. They had, I think, maybe a 10 to 15 minute bout between these two. And then you saw Finn Balor get involved. He runs in. The match ends in a disqualification. Technically, AJ Styles won, but that's a technicality. I still say his last win was at Saturday night's main event. Again, this was all for storyline purposes, but which is interesting, because I want WWE to push Finn Balor, but not like this. Why, of all things, does he have to interrupt this match? Obviously, it's story writing. It's the creative in WWE that's at fault here, not Finn Balor, but a huge, huge mistake. Just a huge whiff. I mean, again, back to the foreshadowing, I said CM Punk backstage with him prior to this says that Finn Balor needs to ditch the Judgment Day, needs to find his own identity and such. I guess we're going to get heel Balor on his own, maybe. We're going to see Punk versus Balor, maybe at Royal Rumble, since I believe Finn Balor can't be included in the Royal Rumble, which makes no damn sense, because I think only like 15 or 16 wrestlers in the men's Rumble have actually officially declared, which is a whole nother can of worms. I think declaring for the Rumble is fucking stupid. I think it needs to be a genuine surprise. The order needs to be a surprise. The participants in the match needs to be a surprise. Obviously, other than champions, I don't think any champions should be involved in the Rumble. I think every person that's involved in a Royal Rumble needs to be someone who doesn't have a belt around their waist and is gunning for one. And keep it at that. Keep it short, simple, and unpredictable. But I guess WWE can't do that. And for whatever reason, Finn Balor is not eligible for it, so hence why this is probably the core reason why. We'll probably hear from him next Monday why he did this, but my guess is this is the reason why, was because he was screwed out, essentially, of a Rumble spot. So maybe we see Punk versus Balor for the title at Royal Rumble. I sure hope so, because that card is looking extremely weak. And we see up here Triple H saying that there's going to be many surprises for the Rumble. Take that with a huge grain of salt. Take it with the whole fucking can of salt. I don't care. Because Triple H has promised time and time and time again, from last year in 2025 and already, I think, like 4 times in the last month here, in the first month of 2026, and I feel like he has not fulfilled those promises. They've been empty promises. We'll see if there's actually any surprises. I don't think, because of, again, how they cannot keep it unpredictable. We're probably going to see Jericho. We're probably going to see Will Hobbs. We're going to probably see Oba Femi. Joe Hendry, maybe just for a laugh again. I don't know. That's not really a surprise to me. We know Chris Jericho is probably on his way back. We know Will Hobbs is already WWE bound. None of that's really a surprise to me. Correct me if I'm wrong or call me out if you think I'm being too harsh, but none of that is true surprises. A true surprise would be something just way out of left field, something that you wouldn't expect, like having one of the New Japan guys, Evil, maybe making his debut. That would be more of a surprise. Or somebody who's an indie sensation that is yet not signed to anybody, or maybe even an extremely controversial person such as the villain, Marty Scurll, something like that. That would be a genuine surprise. Everything else that I listed is as expected. WWE also has officially filed a trademark for Gunther's new nickname, the Career Killer, which, to me, the way I see it, this all but confirms that he is probably going to beat AJ Styles at Royal Rumble, and he will be the second wrestler that he has ended the career of or killed the career of. It's not going to end. He'll probably likely end the careers of Rey Mysterio, who's still in it, Sheamus, who's still here, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, if he comes back and goes on a one-year run. All of those guys are probably ultimately going to lose to Gunther. I know maybe they're trying to make this like a New Age Undertaker thing where Undertaker had the streak where he just did not lose at WrestleMania. And maybe they're trying to give Gunther the streak where he will not lose a career on the line match against some, veteran, some future Hall of Famer in the WWE. I don't know how I feel about it. It's lukewarm, but I just wanted to give you my take on that quick. Speaking of Rey Mysterio, he apparently got injured during Raw. That's one other thing I wanted to bring up that was a note to talk about. I am reading into it further, saying that it wasn't serious. So again, WWE dodged a bullet because just, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, Javon Evans got injured, which looks like it was a severe shoulder or pec injury, ended up just being a concussion or something. I'm not sure. Rey Mysterio as well. He was holding on to his shoulder and arm. Not quite sure what it is. Maybe he just pulled a muscle. If it's a grade 1 tear of anything, he'll be back in a month or two with some good rest. But it doesn't sound like it's anything serious where he'd be out for 6 months to a year. One quick highlight that I want to talk about with WWE, and this is actually part of a larger issue with WWE, but a highlight within that issue is Kit Wilson breaking away from Pretty Deadly as his partner broke his neck or something. He's going to be out for a long time. His new WWE theme was added to Spotify 10 days ago and already has 500,000 streams. Guess what? Theme songs matter, exactly what this post says, and I 100% agree. And it's something that I've called WWE out before on my channel, where all of their songs, or at least 90% of them, bleed together. They sound the same. They sound generic, stale, boring. Something that would be made out of a garage band on an 8th grader's laptop, So it's good to see that they put some effort into Kit Wilson's theme song, because, look he's a star in the making now at this point. A singles run is imminent for him, is due. He's due to have at least a mid-card title while he waits for his tag partner to heal up. Now, real quick, transitioning over to TNA, just wanted to talk about the ratings. It did come out. Thursday Night Impact's ratings. It showed a slight drop in viewers. It was at 171,000 to last week's 173,000. So only down 1%. However, the key demo of 18 to 49 went down a whole 25%. The key demo of 18 to 49-year-olds, a quarter of them tuned out. So I'm assuming that few thousand view drop that they saw, a lot of that was essentially that key demo, and then other people maybe in that demo didn't come back. Again, maybe it was just a lot of old people that wanted to give TNA another shot that kind of kept it up a little higher. Again, I was expecting a bigger drop, but I'm also expecting it to gradually keep decreasing. Like I said, give them a few months and they're going to level off at around 150,000 a week, which is technically better than it was on Axis, but nowhere near where a lot of E-stands were saying that they were the true number 2 and that they were going to get, like 1 million views a week. No, that is never happening with TNA. Now on to some AEW stuff. Right up here, it's the Dynamite card. You guys probably just finished watching it as this video is posted. I'm just going to run through it quick and give you my predictions, and we'll see how accurate I was, because by the time you're watching this, the show will have ended. This video will be posting at 9 o'clock Central, immediately following Dynamite, for you guys to comment on. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite match was, and then in my next video, I'll recap it a little bit further. We got, well, the stuff from the bottom and go up. That's how I'll do it. Briscoe and Clone. Got Briscoe winning this. I think it's going to be a very interesting match. Maybe we see Hologram return and get involved here and have El Clone lose, because he's been gone for a minute. I don't know how serious his injury was, but maybe this is the time to bring him back. MJF is going to appear live. Not entirely sure where this goes. He's probably just going to have some promo against Brody King. Basically make excuses as to why he wasn't actually scared and he left the ring because he didn't want to give Brody King his time, or, you know, it's MJF. He'll sway it his way. Kenny Omega versus Rocky. I got Omega winning this all day. The only way he loses is if the Don Callis family gets involved and, you know, costs him the match. Otherwise, it's a shoo-in for Omega, I think. Moxley and Ace Austin. I'm actually really excited for this match. I love Ace Austin. I know people pointed out in my last video I forgot about him in the Bang Bang Gang. Truly, I did. I forget that he is a part of that because he's only been around for a short time, and they need him on TV more. He is a young stud, great talent, great physique. He's got tree trunks for fucking legs, my God. Just another whiff of TNA that they lost. Another wrestler, many wrestlers that TNA lost prior to their debut on AMC, which I think is hilarious. But I do have Moxley picking up this win. Swerve and Andrade is the question mark here. I genuinely don't quite know where this is going to go. Swerve needs to win to get back in the world title picture, but Andrade, I don't know what it is. There's something in the air that's telling me that he is finally going to get a mega push here in AEW. I don't know. I keep going back and forth on if I think it's going to happen tonight in this match or later on in the spring. My heart wants to say Andrade, so I'm going to go with Andrade, but likely it's going to be Swerve. Then you got Davis and Doyle versus FTR. FTR is going to retain. I don't see them dropping those belts on a Dynamite. I think they're going to keep them until at least Revolution in March. So I got FTR winning that. And then you got Statlander versus Tekla. I don't know what it is. I feel like the experiment with Statlander as world champ is just kind of fallen flat. Don't get me wrong. I really, really like Chris Statlander, but I feel like the general viewer in AEW right now for the world, you know, the women's world championship title pictures, so I wonder if Tekla is actually going to be given the belt, have another heel have the belt for a while, because again, I don't know what it is. I could be being harsh with Chris Statlander. Again, I truly do like her, but it just feels like this whole title run by Statlander is just kind of falling through the cracks. It's not forming the way that they wanted it to. So I may be dead wrong here, but for whatever reason, I'm picking Tekla to win this title match. Some AEW news quick to close out the video. Grand Slam Australia looks like it's going to have a 2.5 hour run. As you see up here, it's going to run until 10:30 Eastern, which will be 9:30 Central Time for me in America. Looks like Godzilla vs. Kong is following that. But yeah, they are slated here for a 2.5 hour show. So the Grand Slam Australia episode, that's just a couple of weeks away now, a few weeks away, 2.5 weeks away. And then to close out this video, we got some more Tommaso Ciampa news. JR really, really wants Tommaso Ciampa. Right up here, he believes he could be AEW bound. Once his contract expires, speculation has ramped up about where the Blackheart could land next. He made it clear he plans to wrestle for another decade and is open to just about anything. While reports suggest Ciampa may work the independent scene or even head to New Japan, AEW commentator Jim Ross is optimistic about a potential move to AEW. I mean, even if he goes to New Japan, you'll see him with the crossover that they have with New Japan. I truly think it is likely that we see Tommaso Ciampa. Maybe not right away. Maybe he does commit to some indie dates for about 6 months to a year, and then we see him close out his career in AEW or a hybrid of the two between New Japan and AEW. JR basically says he's someone you wouldn't pass on. He highlighted his in-ring ability, experience, and strong name recognition, noting that he'd fit well with AEW style and roster, which he definitely would. And yeah, he's a very recognizable name. I'm sure there's a lot of fans that are going to follow him on his WWE exit. He was added to the alumni section on WWE's website, so he is all but gone from WWE. I would like to see him in AEW. New Japan, sort of in the mix between the two. He already has stuff on Pro Wrestling Tees. He's got Psycho Killer and Psycho Kid shirts and hoodies now available. So it looks like that's going to be kind of the moniker he's going to go with instead of Blackheart. Wherever he goes, if he goes AEW, you know they're going to give him a banger of a theme song, an entrance song. That's all I had in this episode of Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on everything that I talked about, the stuff with AJ Styles and CM Punk, anything else to do with Raw, your thoughts on the TNA viewership, and like I said when I was going over my picks for Dynamite, since you have just finished watching it, let me know down below your favorite match of the night, your favorite moment of Dynamite this week. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.